And that's great for large companies, but what about the food that we waste every day? Well, the city of St. Pete has officially launched its new composting program. So single-family homes who want to do something like this can sign up, and it is all free. This sustainable form of waste management can make a really big difference to cutting down on about 30% of food and yard waste. 10 News reporter Madison Allworth tells us how this new program hopes to help people cut down on garbage.
The new program will enable St. Pete City residents to take that waste and put it in these new composting bins.
Composting is a unique process of recycling. You take nitrogen-rich green materials like organic food matter, think banana peels, broccoli stems, corn cobs, and you mix it with brown, carbon-rich materials like mulch, leaves, and even white paper. As they break down, that mix naturally turns into a nutrient-rich fertilizer that's perfect for gardens and landscaping. While some of these St. Pete composters are familiar with the process and have been advocating for this waste disposal option, many are not. Brandy Morris signed up for her new composting bin after a neighbor told her about the program. She is hoping it will reduce her waste and help her new blueberry and fig garden in the process.
The soil back here isn't so great. It's very dry, very sandy. So we're hoping that by composting, we can bring some nutrients back into the soil and just make it so that these little guys can thrive back here.
500 composting bins were available when this program rolled out on Monday, but nearly 2,000 residents have already signed up for this program. The sanitation department guarantees that everyone who signs up and is eligible will eventually get a bin.
A lot of people are interested. Now, composting the wrong materials can lead to maggots and flies. So coming up at 6 o'clock, we're going to help you out. We're going to show you how to avoid those problems and why the city believes new composters will not have that problem.